Say we gon' set your day right, yeah. We gon' turn it up nice. Get ready for the time of your life. We bring the vibes and we bringing it right. We're the Brunch Bunch, doing it right, doing it right. Cause we on here and we ready to bring the fire. Turn the radio up. Cause we on here with the Brunch Bunch, take it higher. Turn the radio up. Cause we on here and we ready.
It's a winning Tuesday right here on the Brunch Bunch. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and I'm so excited to be back and live in the land of the living, because yesterday I was out because I got that COVID-19 vaccine and it had a brother down, but I'll talk about that more later. I'm so excited. Unfortunately, Tamera Fair is not on the air. She is out doing great things as she usually does, filming her new movie in South Carolina. But filling in for her, I have two special guest co-hosts, and it's none other than her right-hand woman, Miss Maya, is back with us.
Hey, everybody.
I like that. Hey, everybody. You sound like Modi, too, when you just said that.
God, everybody. I mean, I swear I get that all the time.
You just sounded just like her. But listen, I'm also excited because it is Temple Tuesday. It is Tell Us Something Good Tuesday. It is Hyde Park Therapist Tuesday. And with us again is none other than the Hyde Park Therapist, Nyela.
Hey, I am so excited to be here. It's always a blessing and always a great time with you, so I'm happy to be here.
Listen, you be dropping those nuggets, and we know that we got one queued up in the system, but I know you're going to drop them all hour long. Today we got a great show for you, believers. We're going to talk all things hot topics, and our guest who's back with us, and he was here with you before, too. Was he here? The whole gang? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is none other than new reality TV star, Mr. Early Walker, the star of Hustle and Toe, and he'll be joining us today because his episode is airing tonight, and he has a great event happening this evening. We got some great things to talk about. Y'all ready to rock and roll?
Absolutely. Let's
Don't
get it.
go nowhere. We got way more to share. You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. So, Tamera Fair is not in the Raw today, but Maya is in the Raw, and she got a great story for us.
I do. So I have an update on the Ma'Khia Bryan story. Now, if y'all don't know, Ma'Khia Bryan is that 15-year-old that got shot and killed by that police officer the other day. And so I was on Facebook and I was scrolling, and this lady said that she had went to a little memorial that they had where she had died, and was speaking around to family and friends, and basically she was saying that the story that we have right now is not the truth, and that the real story will come out soon. But this is what she said. She said those girls, one was a 28-year-old adult, had come to Ma'Khia Bryan's foster home 3 days in a row trying to fight her. The foster mom is the one who had the girls come fight Ma'Khia, claiming she was unruly. Everyone in the entire house was against Ma'Khia, and when her father came, she finally felt safe enough to come out and fight. Imagine a 15-year-old thinking process of having to fight a 28-year-old and others. And her own foster mother calling to have her beat up. Ma'Khia's little sister is the one who made the 911 call 3 days in a row straight by herself. I'm sure Ma'Khia Bryan was extremely scared, but felt she had to be brave and protect herself by any means necessary. So they said that this hasn't came out yet, but that is the true tea to that story. And I kind of like peeped that. I had that suspicion that something was up with the foster mom, because why are you just standing there, while kids are fighting,
That's a great point, because and Hyde Park Therapist, are you up on this story?
I've been watching it from afar. I kind of stay away from social media and all that when people get killed and shot. Yeah. I kind of protect my space. But it is very curious how somebody that's supposed to be protecting the young lady is actually instigating what's going on.
Exactly.
Or it's perceived that they're instigating.
And the reason I can believe that, because I grew up in the hood, and I've seen these type of situations. I've seen foster parents, have issues with their foster kids, or let their real kids beat up the foster kids. And so it does make sense, though, because we did say the foster mother was there, and everybody was asking, well, why wasn't she helping, or breaking it up or diffusing the situation.
Yeah, and sometimes when parents or adults, quote unquote, set situations up like that, it's more like trying to teach the kid a lesson.
Yeah.
They're not thinking it's going to end in imminent death, but it's more like, well, I'm going to let the world teach you if you won't listen to me.
Yeah.
And so we don't know what happened leading up to that either.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all speculation right now. But nevertheless, this young lady has lost her life by the hands of officers, and if this to be true, by the hands of faulty parenting.
Yes.
Because, sometimes we want to do the harsh reality when we're raising kids. I have no kids, but I do help raise my nephew. And some, he's not a bad kid, but, when I watch Maury and they do the scare straight and send the kids to jail, it's almost like, all right, that may work. Let me, have some people come scam him or rough him up to show him that's not the life he wants to live. But it doesn't always end right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure that she really did not think that this would end in 4 bullets to this little girl's chest. No. So, and then another thing is how, the media keeps calling this girl a woman. This is a child. We have to stop labeling black kids as adults because they're not. They're children.
Yes, and that's the thing, because they kept labeling as well, the media, the young lady, the 7-year-old who got killed in McDonald's. They kept calling her a woman, and it's like, why do they do this?
Because it desensitizes us to the fact that people are being killed at a young age. Yeah. And we need to recognize that this is a trauma for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is affecting the community at large. Anytime you have a teenager who, we grew up, we all fought. You just listen. If they don't come to therapy, they won't know. Instead of throwing them hands, you gotta let some stuff slide. But it's like, when you look back at your life and the fights that you might have had with kids, and it's like, wow, that could have been me shot and killed. Because we were out doing crazy stuff and fighting and defending ourselves. But we're living in a world where
guns are everywhere.
The guns are everywhere.
You don't know where it's coming from.
And so we gotta guard ourselves.
Exactly.
Well, we're specifically praying for the families of these young people who have lost their lives, and unfortunately, we keep having to report these type of stories. But we're going to continue to pray and praise, because every praise, regardless of the situation, belongs to God. Every praise belongs to God. You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. We were just talking about the Ma'Khia Bryan story, and we have a caller on the line, so we wanted to hear what the caller had to say. Caller, what's going on?
Hi. I wanted to ask you guys, what was the officer supposed to do? She had a knife in her hand. So was he supposed to let her just stab the other young girl, or? Well,
I feel like those girls pulled up for drama and to fight her, so you pulled up for whatever you were waiting for. Like me, a 5'2", 100-pound girl, I'm not going to let 2 girls walk up on me without pulling or grabbing anything that's in my reach. Like, they pulled up for that drama.
She went inside the house to get the knife, and she called the police. Why not just stay in the house?
Well,
you called the police. Why not just stay in the house?
That's a good point. But so to Maya's point, who just brought the updates, apparently, and we don't know if it's true. This is still speculative. Yeah. But if that to be true, that the foster mother was implementing this and helping the press it through. Maybe that's why she came back out. Now, my issue is, and I understand, and when they did the press conference, the commander said that he had the right to shoot to kill. Yeah. But it's like, hey, you got a 15-year-old girl with a knife. You are trained. Why can you shoot to diffuse her, or just lame her a little bit where she can just fall down and not be dead, but then go through the judicial system and be able to fight these charges versus be laid to rest.
And then you have to think about how teachers diffuse fights all the time. Like, I went to Rich South High School. I've seen teachers diffuse big. We had a huge brawl on the news. I've seen teachers diffuse huge fights before, and they did not have to use excessive force. They didn't have to pump 4 bullets in a child's chest. And then, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, even if he had to shoot her to stop her from stabbing another little girl, what warranted him to put 4 bullets in that child? You could have shot in the air. You could have shot at the ground. You could have.
That was another thing, a warning shot. And then the therapist.
Yeah, and then there's also takedowns. I mean, people learn how to take people down. He could have tackled her. I mean, there are different ways that the situation could have been diffused, to your point of maiming. And then when the caller mentioned how she went in the house and came back out, we are talking about the hormones, the thoughts, and all of these of a 15-year-old girl. I don't think, I mean, even adults in a situation where they feel threatened, oh, I'm going to go back in and get something and come back out. I don't think she may have had the capacity to make that kind of decision in that moment.
Yep. Well, caller, thank you for calling in. Continue to listen to the Brunch Bunch. It's always our aim to send you back better than you can. And the brain news you can use. And one of the other things I just thought about in this situation, one of the biggest issues I believe, my personal opinion, in policing is that the police don't know us. And one of our callers said last week, they're afraid of what they don't know. People are afraid of what they don't know. And when you have Caucasian officers patrolling black communities and they don't know, they're afraid, so now they're shooting to kill. If it would have been one of us who, or I know officers in the community that's like, oh, that's so-and-so, baby. Let me put the knife down. Come on over here. You know, let's kind of diffuse this a different way. But we can never say what could have or should have happened because it happened. And we cannot change the past. But we can continue to pray that God touches the hearts of the police officers that are patrolling our communities, and pray that people start doing the right thing sometimes. Because it's not always the police's fault. Sometimes we do things that warrant the attention from police.
Correct.
But we still don't want to be killed because we didn't have insurance or our license plate was suspended. You know, so, but God is a keeper, and He will keep those even when you don't want to be kept, because that's how the good Lord works. Don't go nowhere. We got way more to share. Welcome back to another installment of What in the Caucasity. Today's story is about a Karen losing her job. An avoidable unemployment. Now, let's go over to Colonial, Virginia. Now, you can probably guess what happened by what I just said. So, according to the Insider, the incident took place in a neighborhood called Colonial Heights, Virginia. And I can't lie, the city's name honestly just makes this feel even more racist. Laquita Good said that the confrontation between her and her white neighbor began over an incident involving their kids. Video of the confrontation shows the neighbor yelling at Good that she was not, and I quote, the right color. When Good asks, am I a N-word? The woman replies, yes, you are. Apparently, this was not the first time Good has had problems with her neighbor. And I quote, I feel like a prisoner in my own home, Good said in an interview with the Daily Mail. She has called me many names before, but to hear her being racist, that really shocked me. I wish I could be surprised that a white woman from Virginia was racist, but I just kind of assume most white people in Virginia are some level of racist until proven otherwise. Sorry to the white folks inevitably in their feelings over that, but you can't celebrate a racist holiday for over 100 years, have historically racist colleges and universities, and put a statue of a Confederate General, Robert E. Lee, in the Capitol Statuary Hall and not expect to be assumed that Virginia, by and large, not really messing with black folks like that. It should come as no surprise to anyone that the video resulted, thank God, in the woman losing her job at the Chesterfield Food Bank. Kim Hill, CEO of the food bank, issued a statement last Friday confirming that the woman had been fired. We here at CFB are brokenhearted to view this conduct as it goes directly against our values and beliefs. We are honored to serve everyone in need with dignity and integrity. In response to this situation, we have terminated this employee. Now, stories like these have continually amazed me, and the lack of self-awareness that white people have, and not all white people, some white people. Let me say that before I start getting calls on the phone. I'm no racist.
There's
I say that. I just had, we have some allies. Look, my homie Matt, who's with me all the time. Now, after over a year, for the past year or two, we've seen white person after white person lose their jobs in engaging in racist craziness. Mm-hmm. But they don't stop. And I'm so excited, though, that we're living in a time where, first, I was excited because things were getting caught just on cell phones. You can pull your phone out real quick. But now everybody has, like, Ring cameras. Yeah. So even if you don't have your phone, you can catch it. What's wrong with Becky? Why would she tell that lady that?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think that the setup is the name of the town, period. I mean, why we live there? I mean, come on now. I got a bus of move. I can't live there. I'm not living there. But, I mean, seriously, you don't know how many other people were affected by her racist comments or any kind of racism she displayed because she worked at a food bank. Yeah. She worked at a food bank or a place where people in need frequently go, and you don't know how many people she made feel terrible for being in that situation on top of being, demoralized or being called names or whatever sly, passive-aggressive action she took against people.
And
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Maya.
I was gonna say, to your point, I was gonna say, I'm also happy that during this time and age, these people are getting caught. Because these are our, officers, the people that serve us in the store, they're our lawyers, they're, and they need to be called out and they need to be held accountable because just in this day and age, in 2021, that's just not acceptable.
Well, you know what? And I told you all, it's unfortunate that I had 2 or 3 what-in-the-caucacites. So I'm going to just get another one in here real quick. Because
they don't stop watching.
They don't. And you know what? I just want people to be aware of these things that are happening. And if it happens to you, because it just happened to me. A couple of weeks ago, my new white neighbor told me, "Thank God you're not a drug dealer," when I told him what I do for a living. And then went on to repeat it and say, as the convo kept going, "Oh, and I'm going to let my housemates know you're not a drug dealer." So that let me know everybody in the house was talking about
Well, it's unfortunate you're a racist and you have very poor beliefs. I'm afraid of you. What are you going to do?
You know, this white man with no windows, you snatching our girls. I don't know. But it's like, I didn't say that. But it's like, what do
Did
they...
he have a mustache, too? I mean,
no, he didn't. That made it even more worse. I don't know. Chester the molester. But listen. But nevertheless, a 23-year-old brother in New York City suburb just wanted to clock into work and earn a living. Instead, he was greeted with racial harassment and most recently, a noose hanging from his workspace. The incident happened on April 20th at Cooper Power and Lighting Corp in Farmingdale, New York. Now, this is not Colonial Heights, Virginia. It's Farmingdale, New York. Farmingdale. Oh, Lord. Don't move to no towns that sound like you're going to be back on the plantation. Listen.
Just come to Chicago.
Come to Chicago. Kyron Taylor has been working at the local business since December. The noose was hanging clear as day, and no, you cannot make it for anything other than the noose in case anyone wants to explain it away as an accident. Fearing for his personal safety, Taylor called the police and his union, IBEW Local 25, to inform them of the situation, according to his lawyer. "Seeing this took my breath away, and I really did not know what to do or what to think," Taylor said in a statement. Taylor and Brewington said Taylor's boss scolded him for calling the cops. This isn't the first time Taylor has experienced harassment at his job. And I quote, "I am the only African-American working for Cooper Power and Lighting, and this was not the first time I was treated with disrespect," he said. "I have been targeted by the act of pure hate, and I just don't know what to think. When will people stop thinking it's all right to terrorize black people?" Now, this brother, it just made me mad reading this story all over. 23-year-old brother. You know what kind of... a good
23,
you know.
Traumatized. And I know it's trauma because I could have knocked my neighbor's teeth in if I wasn't saved. But I won't lie, though. every time I see him, I have this flashback of what he said, and I really just want to go to him again. Even driving here today, I thought about it out the blue when I picked my, nice car up from the shop. It's like, wow, I got to be a drug dealer because I drive a nice car. Then I wanted to say, Google me, and then I stun on him real quick. But how do you get past this type of trauma?
Well, I mean, it's ongoing trauma. It's pain on top of pain. What we can do, we can use it as an opportunity. Sometimes when people come for us or come at us, I know that my personal growth experiences, I've been defensive a lot in the past. I'm always ready. I was always locked and loaded. Yeah. And so what that got me was in a situation where someone was asking me a question, I responded defensively, where they were just seeking information. And so what I've learned is even when people come for you, regardless of their intent, I treat everybody like they're seeking information. And so, no, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm an entrepreneur. I own several businesses. Do you need a job?
Right.
I can help you.
And so use it. No, we don't have to educate people all the time, but we can tap into our power. Yeah. We don't have to tap into victimhood. We can tap into our power. That is very unfortunate for a 23-year-old to experience that. This is 2021, but this is still America, and there's a lot going on. And we do have to keep ourselves around people that empower us, encourage us, and we need our support systems intact. Because when these situations come for us, we need to be comforted by people that we love.
Yeah, definitely. Maya, you got anything to say?
No, I was just disgusted by the story.
I see, because you're like 23, right?
I am 23, and so and just to think that first of all, segregation was not that long ago. Yeah. And just to think that
slavery wasn't either when you start doing the math.
Exactly. And just to think that, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, all these people were fighting for us, before I was even born. And here we are today, still fighting.
Fighting the fight.
It's crazy. That same fight at that. It's crazy. And, I went to Clark Atlanta University. Shout out to my HBCU. And just being in Atlanta and being around all that history and just seeing how we were still in the same place, that bothered me. Because you got to think that all this is over a skin color, and it's nuts.
A skin color. We are all children of God.
Yes.
And,
but because we're darker, and, y'all tend to get dark as us.
Yeah, listen, I ain't gonna go that far there. I already got what-in-the-caucacites. I can't say nothing else. Just crazy white folks. Stay away from me. But all the beautiful white people that don't see skin color, that love us, and we talked about this, Naila, racism is taught. Because then whenever I'm out and we're downtown and I see little cute white baby, they smile, they wave at me, they don't know this big black brother, I should be scared of him until they grow up and their grandparents or parents say, they're not as good as you.
Yeah, but it is taught, and just like it's taught, we have to teach. We have to overpower hate with love. Yeah. We teach our children how to love, but we also have to teach our children how to be articulate and how to defend themselves and how to speak up appropriately.
Yes. Yeah, because if you don't, they will continue to do whatever. People only do what you allow them to do.
That's right.
Speaking of what people need to be doing, here on the Brunch Bunch, we want to bless our believers with all of the resources and knowledge that we can. And we got to level up because we don't want to level the playing field. We want to own the playing field. Yeah. We need to level up, and we need to level up in business. And a couple of weeks ago, I reported that the airports in O'Hare and Midway would be opening up for concessions. If you don't understand what that is, that means when you go to the airport, those businesses that you see in there that are open, they are now allowing new businesses to come in. Wow. It is a $8.5 billion expansion project underway. I would just tell you how powerful this is. Being in the airport, if you can get a business in the airport, you automatically made it. Yeah. Because it's a gold mine. It's just coming through. And so we want to make sure that you all are prepared and ready to apply, because as we talked about before, and shout out to Deputy Commissioner Corey Thames, who tunes in, and he sent me this info. He said, I told you as soon as it comes out, I will share with you. The RFP was issued April 23rd. The pre-proposal registration deadline is May the 10th. The pre-proposal meeting is May the 11th, and the proposals are due August 2nd. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Now, if you're not ready, you got a little time. So make sure you go online to flychicago.com and fill out for that RFPP. Just register so that you can at least be registered, because if you're not registered, you cannot apply. The RFP is not due until August the 2nd. Now, listen, if you don't already have a business, don't you try to figure it out now. You know, if you have a current business and you had the capital to do it, let's do it, because we want to see more African-American vendors in these airports, because, like I said, it is a gold mine. So when I got the info, trust me, I'm going to apply.
Absolutely.
I'm going to apply.
Yeah, let everybody know.
But I want everybody else, because when I'm blessed, I ask God to bless me so that I can bless somebody else. Don't go nowhere. It's Kurt Cobb. Bless somebody else right here on the Brunch Bunch. So, listen, it has been a great show. We're running out of time. Naila, if you could leave us with a mental health moment.
All right, beloved, I want y'all to stop having relationship problems with people y'all not in relationships with. Just stop. If you triggered, give my office a call. 312-966-9545.
Say that number one more time, because I saw a few hands going up.
312-966-9545. Lotus Healing.
Well, listen, stop having relationship problems with people you're not in a relationship with. But I'm so grateful that you're in a relationship with the Brunch Bunch. Just don't have no problems with us, and it won't be no smoke. Listen, you know we get it done from 12 to 1. Thank you, Maya, for sitting in with us today.
Always a great time to be on here.
And Tamera Fair, we love you. We miss you. Tomorrow's Chick Chat Wednesday with the queen of the South, Charmaine Riquette.